Alright, so as always, you already know this PFC review attached here to bring you another Naruto review from the one and only place of Okinawa, Japan. So let's get right into it. So honestly, this chapter was pretty blah in my opinion. I mean, honestly, not too much happened, but the very last page. I mean, most of the chapter from what, maybe I don't know if I read it wrong, but it's pretty much just through Obito's eyes. And the artwork, I don't get why the artwork was the way it was. Like most of it, I wouldn't say it's blurry, but you could barely make out what was happening through pictures. I don't understand why it was like that. Like it kind of looked like a fusion between a flashback and just someone about to die. I don't know. I didn't care for it. I mean, honestly, most of the chapter was Obito just looking at Gaara. I mean, like the title should have just been Gaara, and that's honestly what the whole chapter was about. So you know, Obito's down and out. He decides at the very end he wants to be good. And just before I forget to freaking mention, you know, everyone's wondering how the hell was he still alive, and you know, I think it was retarded, but. When the fourth talked to his half of Kurama, Kurama was just saying that since the Jubi's the Jubi, since it's different, and all the other tail beasts, when it gets distracted from its host, the host doesn't die. So you know, there's just fine print that no one could read. So Obito got a get out of jail free card pretty much. The only repercussion was that it leaves the user immobilized. Which honestly, I don't know if Madara controlled him or not, because it kind of didn't seem like it. But he wasn't immobilized for too long. So that's why Obito's alive, because he doesn't pay that death penalty, because he lucked up, I guess. And then, so like I said, most of it is just him talking, not him talking, but him watching Gaara. And pretty much most of the chapter is just Gaara going back and forth with Shukaku. Shukaku being a freaking retard. And he's the one-tailed beast. That means he's the weakest one of them all. And he's talking the biggest amount of trash. So, you know, he's pretty much going back and forth with Gaara about, you know, Gaara's asking for his help. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it. At the very end, he pretty much says, yeah, I'm going to do it. So, it was just a stupid, it was like a childish argument, pretty much, with him and Gaara. And all the other tail beasts gather around and like, hey, are you friends with Naruto? And Gaara's like, yes, he was my first friend. And I guess they all linked him his power, so they pretty much, you know, history repeats itself, how they all gave Naruto the power. They're all going to help out Gaara. I can't see Gaara again like freaking Jinchuriki form. But I mean, honestly, most of the chapter was just him bickering with Shukaku. And Obito decided he wants to be good, even though he started a war and he killed people. I kind of thought he was going to bring back Jiraiya, because I'll talk about it later. And then in the chapter, the very, very, very last page, Madara's like, I think he's talking to Naruto. It's like, I should thank you, Naruto, because you weakened Obito. That was my ace in the hole, was weakening Obito to be able to come back alive. And that's what he does. He does Rinne Tensei, him and Obito. See, the way they did it. See, Obito was talking about being, and that's the story, that's the chapter. So what confused me a little bit was, you know, he's supposed to be immobilized, like completely paralyzed. But he was able to move his arms to do Rinne Tensei. Now, what I was kind of semi-confused about was, did he do it himself? Because once he said he wants to be good, he did Rinne Tensei. But I don't know if it was like Madara controlling him, because the Zetsu came out, the black Zetsu came out. So I'm thinking that's what happened. The black Zetsu controlled him and made him do it, which I don't necessarily see how that's kind of possible. But I think that's what happened. Madara through Zetsu controlled him to do Rinne Tensei, and he brung, so indirectly, he brung freaking Madara back to life. So he's human. And honestly, I think that's retarded. Like, other than freaking, unless he wants to become a Jinchuriki himself, it seems retarded because now that he's human, which he had one of those. I'm gonna call it the Madara faces because when he gets excited, he has the most weirdest rape face in all of anime. So you know, he gets excited like, oh, I can feel my blood in my skin, and he gets excited for that. But he freaking, I don't get the point about letting him become a Jinchuriki because now that he's human, it means he's so much weaker than what he just was. I mean, yeah, he's awesome. But now he can die. Before he couldn't. If the world exploded, he'd come back. He had immortality, and now he gave up immortality. He can get cut. He can get, you know, beheaded, all that fun stuff. So now he's human. Now he's weaker. So I'm guessing the only reason why he wants to become human is to just freaking become Jinchuriki. I mean, all the tail beasts are there, so I'm pretty sure if he can control the full Kurama, he could easily control the other ones. So I mean, that's probably his plan. And I mean, the artwork, like I said before, I don't know if it's just because Obito is freaking seeing everything, but like most of the chapter was like, what the hell am I reading? Like it was hard to understand. Like the words were clear, but the pictures were just like blah. Like it looked like a flashback, like in animes, how everything's like blurry. It looks, I don't know, I didn't care for it. And Obito wanted to be good, like, I think it's retarded. Like the whole Jubi, like secret fine print clause, I don't really care about. I mean, it semi makes sense because I mean, maybe it's different because he, I don't know, it don't really make sense. He's the Jubi, so the Jinchuriki are his offspring, so the same penalty that it is for them, it should be for it. But whatever. But Obito being wanting to be good, I think it's just retarded. I mean, it's good, I guess, that he wants to be good, but it's like, you know, you done waited what, like 30 plus years doing Madara's bidding, doing all this evil, killing your clan with Itachi, starting wars, killing more people. And then he talks about Jiraiya a lot. It gave me like false hope. I thought he was gonna revive him, because he talked about Jiraiya for like a good freaking 5 pages. And I'm thinking, oh, you know, he's gonna revive Jiraiya because that was the one person Peyton couldn't revive. So maybe Obito's gonna revive him, and he does Rin Tensei, Duzetsu. But no, that didn't happen. So he just gave me freaking false hope in this page. And he wants to be good after he done killed people. I mean, yeah, nobody liked the Neji dying because they figured he was fodder, pretty much. That's what I perceive. But I mean, it's still Neji. He's still part of the Konoha team. And I mean, obviously he killed a lot more people. He destroyed the cow village. I mean, he destroyed people directly and indirectly. And now he wants to be good. And I forgot who it was. I think it was Kakashi, who's actually going along with it. Like, hey, you should want to live. You know, repent for your sins. Like, I don't know. I don't like the fact that he wants to be good after he done all this. It's like he's a mass murderer. I mean, that's like freaking Ted Bundy saying, oh, yeah, I killed these people, but I want to be good now. Like, no. Like, you done did all this. I mean, just go to jail or something, but I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, that's pretty much the chapter. Madara, honestly, the whole point of the chapter to me, other than freaking Gaara and Shukaku arguing like they're retarded, was Madara being human, because now his ace up the hole is coming through. Which honestly, if you think about it, his ace up the hole was being human, which I guess was Obito bringing him back to life. Which is why back in the day, like way back in the day, like a year ago, Obito was talking trash to Madara. So I guess that's why, because his plan revolved around Obito. But with Obito getting the Jubi, what the hell was his original plan of weakening Obito? I mean, Madara's boss and all, but he ain't stopping up Jubi. Like, he was lucky that freaking Naruto, that Kishimoto wanted Obito to die so stupidly, in my opinion, to weaken Obito. Like, if he wanted for that, what the hell was he going to do? Was he just literally just going to sit down? Because he sat down like most of the war and just let freaking Alliance weaken him? And that was retarded. Like, I mean, it's Madara. Like, I expect more from Madara. I expect Madara to be like freaking Aizen almost. And like, he didn't have a plan. Like, his plan was just coming back by using Zetsu. But as far as weakening Obito, he had no plan. It was just, let me hope that the Alliance is going to weaken him. But anyway, I don't want to rant too much. I mean, honestly, it wasn't a horrible chapter. It was just not living up to my expectations as a fan. Especially compared to what, I don't know, I think could happen. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to comment below as always. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Don't forget to like my fan page. And, you know, obviously feel free to comment on the video how you think I do. And comment on the chapter itself if you liked it or not. So, as always, this is POC Itachi signing out. Peace.